Hi everyone, Sarah here. I'm so excited today because we are talking about something very important. Sunscreen. I know that might not seem super important, and I know this is totally kids sunscreen, but we're going to talk about it today. Full disclosure, Top Box Circle, Garnier Ombrelle has sent me this sunscreen to test out for my kids. And something kind of through this process that I sort of realized was that sunscreen is not a summer thing. It is a year-round thing. Now I know that sounds a little bit crazy. I live in Canada. I live in Alberta, kind of semi-northern Alberta. It gets cold. It doesn't feel like sometimes in the winter we see the sun for an extended period of time. So it might sound a little bit crazy, but the sun still reflects off the snow, and it's still really important that you take care of your skin. So I'll tell you a couple of stories as to kind of how my mentality about skincare and sun protection changed over the last few years. So kind of first and foremost, I got a really awful burn once. I was in Mexico at a friend's wedding, and I did not use sun protection in the way that I needed to while in a place like Mexico. And we went snorkeling, and I had a wonderful time, and I got a terrible sunburn. And when I say terrible, I don't mean like, that really hurts to the touch. I mean like I got a sunburn with water blisters, which are incredibly painful if you have never had that bad of a sunburn. But not only was it the worst sunburn I've ever had in my life, but it also was scary. It was a scary kind of sunburn because not only did it look terrible and feel terrible, those are the types of burns that permanently damage your skin. And my skin on my shoulders where I had that burn has never been the same. You know, I was young, I was in my very early 20s, and I'm just like, oh, it's fine. I'm having a great time. It's no big deal. And everybody around me was like, did you put on enough sunscreen? Have you put on more sunscreen? And of course I didn't do it. So that was kind of my first sort of little knock at the sunscreen door, that it was like time to really take a good look at how I was taking care of my skin in the sun. So, of course, I started buying, foundations and cosmetics that had a chemical sunscreen in it. So that would, be like, foundation with SPF 15, which is good, but it doesn't do everything it's supposed to do. And it doesn't, if you read the bottle of a sunscreen, the point is to reapply in the sun. You're not going to put on 3 or 4 layers of sunscreen or foundation with sunscreen in it on a daily basis. You literally can't put that much makeup on your face. So that really got me thinking about how I'm taking care of my skin 365. So, when Ombrelle and Top Box contacted the participants of this, they asked, do you use sunscreen 365 days a year? And for myself, I totally do, with it being in a chemical in a product, or even I have like an Elizabeth Arden sunscreen that I use on my face, and various other face sunscreens, but not on my whole body, not on my arms, So definitely took a look at that behavior and started to use sunscreen more consistently. But of course, when they contacted me about testing out a sunscreen that is for kids, I was like, yeah, we should actually definitely be doing that. So in the last few years, I fell in love with the Vichy sunscreen for both myself and for my children. It's something that I use and repurchase on a regular basis. But I was really excited to try the Ombrelle SPF 50 for kids. It's hypoallergenic. That's always hard for me to say. It's fragrance free. It is water resistant, not waterproof, water resistant. So you do need to reapply this if your kids are playing in the water. It's colorant free, and it absorbs really quickly. It is also not greasy, which is wonderful. So I had an opportunity to test this out with the kids. Of course, this is something, again, it's sort of a habit of using it constantly, but it's just your typical white sunscreen. It does absorb quite quickly into the skin. It's in there now, which is really nice. It does smell a little like it smells like sunscreen, but it's not as strong of a scent. And it's definitely just like a nice way to protect your skin and protect your children's skin on a regular basis. I know it might seem silly to put sunscreen on a child every single day before they go to school or outside, but it's so important to protect your skin as early on as possible. And you know, I didn't have sunburns or any kind of skin discoloration until I was an adult, because my mom was vigilant and making sure that anytime I was exposed to the sun that I was properly protected. So I think it's really important that we do the same thing for, you know, for myself to do that for my children is really important. So I was really impressed with this. I'm very happy with it. I will continue to use it and kind of change my mentality. Like sun protection is the 365 kind of thing. So it's definitely really important. This is a little card we got with our top box. Ombrelle has all sorts of different types of sun care. There's, you know, face, if you're athletic, if you're very active, which I am not super active. They do have some sunscreen lines specific to people that, you know, are running and doing that kind of thing. They have SPF 30s, 50s, the whole 9 yards. Obviously, the higher the SPF, the more protection you're getting. But if, you know, one thing I could really encourage is get yourself some great sunscreen. Definitely, at the very least, for your face on a daily basis, because our skin is way more sensitive and obviously a little bit more prone to, you know, pollutants and sun than the rest of our body, which might be covered with clothing. Yeah, so check it out. Definitely give it a try if you're looking for a good sunscreen for yourself or for your children. Ombrelle's a really great place to go to, and you know, it's generally quite affordable. You know, I've been buying the Vichy product for quite some time. It is on the pricier end of things, so I was really happy to find something that I felt really and truly it's quick drying, but it doesn't dry down as nicely as the Vichy does, but it's a great option. It's still great to have, and I was really excited about receiving it. So thank you again to Garnier and to Topbox for sending that to me. And you know, really and truly the education and some of the information that came with the product and also prior to getting the product was just a really nice way, just kind of like a little, like I said, a little knock on the door in terms of how are we taking care of our skin, not just in the summer, but year round. You know, please, if we've had so much in the last few years in terms of family members having, you know, skin cancer or skin cancer scares or things like that. This is a real issue, and it is a growing issue, especially here in Canada. You know, I know for myself personally, I've definitely turned that blind eye so many times to making sure that I have, you know, proper skincare in the sun. So take care of yourself. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you again soon.